Hi there, this is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Welcome to this edition of Integrative Movement Insider. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully your week has started out well. And there's actually some positive buzz out there that things are starting to move slowly and carefully and strategically towards opening here in Chicago. We still have until June 1st. However, I hear some rumblings here, so I hope you're taking this time and using it strategically to help uplevel your skill set, your knowledge, and your skill set, and to prepare yourself for reopening. And what that means to you, it's a little bit different for all of us. However, one of the things I really want you to think about and prepare for is what's going to happen on day one when you start to go back to your facility, or when you open your own facility, if you do own your own facility. Are you prepared? Are you prepared for the changes? Have you reconstructed maybe your flow of traffic in and out of your business if you do own your own business? Have you reached out and informed your clients of the new policies and procedures? Because there are going to be new things that you want to address and attend to as you start to come back to business. So don't wait till the day before, or the week, a couple days before to get yourself ready. Start preparing now. So if we're thinking about June 1, and that's the earliest. I mean, we could go to July 1 here. I don't really know what your location is at, but that's kind of what we're looking at here. June 1 at the earliest, and probably later than that. Make sure you're using this time strategically to prepare yourself for reopening and really engaging your clients. Hopefully you've been doing this all along, and if you're part of our community, I know you have been, because you guys have reached out. I've seen your posts, I've seen the things that you've done with your clients, so I know you're reaching out and you're being that leader that your current clients need. But don't forget about your potential clients and those individuals that will be looking for somebody, because a lot of your clients will not go back to the big gym, the big box sort of setting. They want a boutique experience, or they need a boutique experience, because the big gyms, a lot of them will be closing, and a lot of them just won't fit their current needs. So this is a great opportunity if you position yourself well. So again, thank you for joining me in this edition of Integrative Movement Insider. I also want to share a couple more things. This is sort of a lead into the discussion about the Two Anatomy Geeks, a brand new series that my fellow geek Jill Leary and I created. That started out kind of like a joke, like let's do this thing about anatomy. My wife has been bugging me for like months, like literally, like probably a year. When I say months, it's probably been like a year, because I hear things and it just goes in one ear out the other. So yeah, women, if you know how your significant others are. So she's like, you have to do an anatomy series. You have to understand. You have to teach people about anatomy and biomechanics and motor control, so they truly understand what it is that you're trying to get across and what we're trying to get across with our education. Kind of blew it off. I'm like, yeah, people don't need that, want that. However, I got a text from my friend. Now, to let you know, my friend is one of my closest friends in the industry. She's somebody that's hired me personally to come down to her facility and work with herself personally and her trainers. I've actually created a program for her to address her specific hip and shoulder needs. She trusts and loves me, and I trust and love her back. She does wonderful, wonderful work down at her facility in Houston, Texas, and you've probably heard me talk about Jackie before. Now, she's been tuning into our brand new series, Two Anatomy Geeks. We just finished up last week the first 4-module series, 4 hours, actually it's more than 4 hours of content on shoulder anatomy, how it applies to common shoulder conditions, and how you strategically choose the most appropriate corrective exercises, and how you integrate this information into the most optimal patterns, functional patterns, the progressive patterns for helping your clients improve posture, movement, strengthening, as well as stability and range of motion in their shoulder. And people have been reaching out, honestly, with all the things we've done over the last 22 years. Yeah, I've been in practice for 22 years. It's crazy to think about. No, I've never gotten this many great replies on this series, and it's probably due to Jill, because people have seen me and they're kind of tired and bored of me talking. So it's probably because of Jill, because Jill's awesome, and I love working with her and doing this series with her, but we've never gotten more positive feedback and people just saying, this is the most amazing information I've seen. Thank you for giving it and providing it to us for free, because one of our goals here is to help you up-level your skill set and your knowledge and your mindset, so you come out of this prepared and ready to work with your current clients and be the solution for those clients that need, want, and will pay you for your expertise. Now, back to Jackie. Now, she sent me a text this morning, and I know she's probably hating me for sharing this with you, but the one thing that Jackie and I have and we really respect about each other is she will call me on my crap. I apologize for the language here. She'll call me on my crap when I need to. Like I was down there writing I was supposed to be writing last, my sister lives in Houston, so I went down there to write last July. And I spent an entire month down there and got very little written. And part of it was I was in my own head, and all I worried about is what everybody else there was saying about corrective exercise and posture, and that posture doesn't matter, corrective exercise doesn't matter, and people that are Dr. Osar, the stuff you teach is, you're wasting people's time. People just need to get stronger and mobile. Just stop talking about corrective exercise, and you're actually misleading people. And I got so into my head that I started to believe that, and I got paralysis by this over-analysis of other people's opinion of the work that we do and that we prove every single day here in our clinic. So Jackie had to come to Jesus moment with me when I was down there last summer, and by the time she had to come to Jesus moment, I wish she had it in the beginning of the month, but she had it towards the end of the month. However, it really did help me to get over that plateau of getting in my head and worrying about what other people were saying about the stuff that I do and prove to myself that works every single day here in our clinic with our clients. Obviously, when we're in business, not so much right now. Well, Jackie reached out to me this morning and said, "Oh my God, I'm watching your Two Anatomy Geeks. I don't understand what you're talking about. You're using all this terminology. This information. I just don't get it." So one of the things I shared with Jackie is, and here's why I love Jackie. Jackie completely changed careers. I forget what she was doing. I think she was in education before. So Jackie, I should know what you did before you became a trainer a few years ago. But she is a wonderful trainer. I mean, I was down there. Janice and I were down there with FAI, Functional Aging Institute, and at her facility, and her clients were in there. She was basically taking her clients through a training session. Some of the clients were crying, and because they love the work that Jackie was doing, Jackie and her team are doing with them, and she's transforming lives. This one client, Lillian, came in and it was like, I was on a crutch. I was crutching in. I was having falls. I was referred to Jackie. Now she's walking confidently with I shouldn't say crutch, a cane, with no cane. And she truly gives Jackie props for changing, transforming her life and her husband's life. And these people love the work she's doing, and they are really doing great work. Now, one of the things Jackie struggles with, and this is very common in the fitness industry, is she starts going after training strategies because she works with highly challenging clients that have multiple falls, clients that have neurological issues, clients that are coming out of cancer and surgery, joint replacements, and are struggling with some of the basic functions of life, just squatting, sitting to get up, balance issues, obviously cognitive issues that are associated with this, just people that are just deconditioned. So she struggles with some of the information in the industry and using that and applying that information to her clients. And she has really done a great job because she's a learner. She's a go-getter. Very few people work as hard as I do. I would say that she works probably harder than I do. So she's done her due diligence in trying to find information. And what I shared with Jackie today is I had a little come to Jesus moment with Jackie. So I said to her, "Jackie, you need to stop chasing exercises." Because most of us in the fitness industry, we've been under the guise that we don't have the right exercises. And I was there for most of my career, up to a few years ago when it finally hit me upside my hard noggin head. You don't need more exercises. I don't need more exercises. What do you need more of? Your clients that are coming in, you have probably thousands of exercises you do with your clients on any given day or week or month or cycle, so to speak. So you don't need more exercises. Regardless of who your clientele is and what their functional goals are, you don't need more exercises. What do you need more of? You need a better understanding of functional anatomy, how the body actually works, biomechanics, how joints actually move, motor control, how your nervous system tells your muscles what to do and how to control your body. Because when you understand functional anatomy, biomechanics, and motor control, then you can appreciate what the body should be doing and then what ultimately your client is struggling to do. That is how you start to decide what the most appropriate assessments are, what the most appropriate corrective exercises are based upon your assessments, and how you start strategically using your exercises to help your clients create a more optimal strategy. And then once they create that most optimal strategy, and that's basically a strategy, is basically a set of habits, then you integrate those habits into the fundamental movement patterns. So you're squatting, you're lunging, you're bending, you're pushing, you're pulling, your rotation patterns, your gait, balance, and carry patterns. That is how you become a specialist. That is how you continue to transform lives. That is how you raise your fees and differentiate yourself from the rest of the industry that's looking for the answer or the next best exercise or chasing the next fad. And this is why I implore you to start to focus more on your fundamental knowledge about how the body works. And if you have a good knowledge, keep improving that knowledge. I seek out people that are way smarter than me, and that's kind of easy to find. There's lots of people way smarter than me because I know there's gaps in my education and I want to make sure I keep up-leveling my own skill set. That's exactly why Jill and I created Two Anatomy Geeks, because we want you to understand functional anatomy and how muscles work. And what we did in this series is we covered the shoulder complex, some of the most important, I should say most important, some of the muscles around the shoulder complex, and how they relate to common issues like the forward shoulder, chronic tightness in the shoulder, rotator cuff issues, as well as impingement syndromes, loss of range of motion. We covered the most important principles, so the principles to provide solutions and an improved strategy for your client, the principles of the integrated movement system, the ABCs. How do you use those ABCs, alignment, breathing, control, to help your client create a more optimal strategy or set of habits? Because ultimately, our goal of sharing this free series with you is to help you develop yourself into a specialist. Because Janice and I committed, many years ago, we committed ourselves to educating and providing free education. Yes, we have lots of paid 3-day courses, year-long intensive. Now we started this brand new series that costs some money and some investment on your part, but we've done so much free education over the years. We gave you this series for free. 4 hours, 4 modules, actually it was over 4 hours of content, because our goal is to help you become that specialist for your current clients and attract more individuals that need, want, and will pay you for your expertise. So thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for allowing us to share that with you. Thank you, Jackie, for allowing me to share your story and giving me my kick in the butt when I need a kick in the butt. So the goal, or I should say the conclusion of that story and why I shared that story with you, is stop looking for the next answer, the next solution, the next strategy, the next fad, the next thing, because there'll be millions that come up after this, especially as we get back to business. You know there's going to be a million more fads coming up in the next few months and years, trying to grab your attention. What I want you to decide for yourself, or think about and then decide for yourself, do I need another exercise for whatever area we're talking about? So let's take the hip, for example. Do you really need another exercise for the hip, or do you already have a library of exercises or a toolbox full of exercises? I know you have way more exercises in your toolbox than I have. And as the further I go in practice, the further I go in my training, the further I go with working with clients, the smaller my toolbox gets, the less exercises I use. But what changes, not the number of exercises, I should say, not the quantity of exercises, they go down, but what goes up is the quality of what I'm doing with the information and what I'm trying to create with my exercises. And that's what I implore on you as well. Or reach out, I don't know if implore is the right word. I encourage you, focus on your strategy, your system. Like James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Develop a system, and this is what you should be doing during this time, is up-leveling your education and developing that system that you can go out and apply to every single client. Your systems don't fail. What fails you, I should say, what fails you is your lack of a system. And that's why we're sharing this information with you, so you have a foundation that you can build your system on top of. And I hope you're getting that point right here. Finally, I want to invite you to the next series of Two Anatomy Geeks that is on the hip. Oh, wait, one more thing before that. Somebody asked me a question about I's, Y's, T's, and W's. They're like, Dr. Osar, in your series, you talk about I's, Y's, T's, and W's and why you don't do them and why you don't like them with your clients with shoulder issues. Part of the reason why I don't like them or use them is the goal, or I should say the challenge for most of your clients with shoulder issues is motor control issues. It's not strength issues. I's, Y's, T's. So I's, Y's, yeah, T's, W's. They are trying to use concentric biased exercises to change motor control issues. That's not the problem. That's why those exercises don't work and actually create and perpetuate so many more problems for your clients. It's a motor control or strategy issue or habit issue, if you want to use an even simpler term. It's your client's habits around their shoulder, not their lack of strength, not their lack of flexibility. Flexibility is just a sort of a side effect. The lack of strength, so to speak, is a side effect of a non-optimal strategy. So what do we do instead of I's, Y's, T's, and W's? We do a lot of exercises, but one of the ones we do is a wall slide with our roller. So we're using the Rolga for this purpose. Thanks guys at Rolga for allowing us to use this tool. But again, you can use any roller. The goal here is to first set your alignment. And that's why it's important that you have your principles and why our strategy, our system is based upon principles. The integrated movement system is based upon the principles that guide and dictate optimal posture and movement, alignment, breathing, and control. So the first thing we always do with our clients with shoulder issues or any issues, we're going to talk about the hip, we're going to do the exact same thing with the hip. Start with proper alignment, or your client's most optimal alignment, I should say. Head and neck, stack the thorax over top the pelvis, align the pelvis underneath the thorax. Now from here, the shoulder is open and wide. We talked a lot about during the Two Anatomy Geeks series how to get a more open and wide shoulder position. So your client isn't down here like this in that forward shoulder position, and they're also not down here like this in that overly retracted and depressed position. They're open and wide, the shoulder is where it's supposed to be. Now from here, face the wall. Roller goes on the wall, elbow goes into the wall. From here, I'm going to stabilize, not even stabilize, but just place my hands on the wall or on my rib. And now I just slide up, the fingers go up towards the ceiling, not out this direction, because a lot of your clients are back here, and then they're like this, and they're like, oh, this hurts my shoulder, because you're creating impingement, because you keep going up and over versus around. The scapula keeps going up and over the rib cage instead of around. So again, we're here, long spine, forearm goes on the roller, and now it's just breathe in, breathe out, slide up. And I want the scapula to wrap around the rib cage, not rotating the rib cage, but just the scapula rotating around the rib cage, and then control the eccentric phase, coming back down. So it's up, come back down, one more time, up, control the eccentric. I'll turn around so you can see from behind as well. So again, we're gonna align the head, neck, and thoraco-pelvic cylinder, shoulders open and wide this direction. Rolga goes on the wall, hands go around the rib cage, towards the scapula, just to, again, monitor to make sure the scapula, I should say the rib cage doesn't move. Slide up the wall, come back down, control. So it's not collapsing down, it's not up here like this, it's just nice and open and wide across the shoulder, lift up, come back down, control, working within the range of motion that I can control. So, thank you, George, for that question. I think it was George that asked that question. Thank you for that question, and hopefully that made sense to you. And if you do that well, like that was 3 reps, and my shoulder actually feels like I have more range of motion, and more importantly, it actually feels a lot lighter. And that was 3 repetitions. So, you don't need more exercises. You just need to understand how to apply the principles, actually understand some fundamentals about anatomy, biomechanics, and motor control, simple principles of the integrated movement system, alignment, breathing, control. Incorporate that into the exercises that you're already doing. Use the right progressions, the most appropriate progressions, and that's how you become the specialist for your current clients, and then attract more individuals that need, want, and will pay you for your expertise. This is Dr. Evan Osar. I know this was a long video, so if you're watching, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for all you do for your clients and for your community, because right now, our clients, your community, need a leader, not a divisive leader who's going to create animosity and divide people and create hostility and say negative things about the government or politicians or this person and that person in a situation. We need people who are leaders, who step up and lead their community with positive message, encouraging message, and great education. So thank you if you are that person. Thank you for being a part of our community as well. If you're interested in learning more about Two Anatomy Geeks, I'm going to put the link right next to this video, so that way you can access it and learn more about Two Anatomy Geeks. We're starting a brand new series for the month of May, 4 weeks on the hip. This week we're covering the glutes and psoas and how they relate to posture, because this is also, May is also posture month. So we'll talk a lot about posture, and we'll talk about stuff that nobody's really addressing because we do not believe everybody's in anterior pelvic tilt and need to have their psoas stretched and their whatever else people say. Glutes strengthen, right? Glutes strengthen. Tuck your butt, squeeze, tighten, yeah. No. We'll show you why we don't believe that. We'll demonstrate why we don't believe that based upon functional anatomy, not just my opinion. And then we'll show you how to use the most appropriate corrective exercises and how to take that into the functional patterns. This week, I'm not sure which ones we'll do. I haven't come up with it yet. We're still devising the course, but we'll let you know on Saturday when we release it. Probably we'll do squats. So I'm not sure. But join us if you're interested in learning more. And we have a crazy deal. We were going to release this for $49. So 4 sessions, 4 modules, 4 hours of content for $49 plus CECs. We have to wait until the recordings are done to actually apply for CECs. But CECs through ACE, NASM, and AFA. But we actually are giving a crazy deal because we know money is tight for a lot of us here in this current economy. So we're actually giving you the 4 modules of information, 4 hours of content on the hip for $17. There's about a siren about to come through, so I apologize for the noise. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm going to put the link next to it if you want to learn more. If you have questions, feel free to put your questions right below or next to this video. I will answer every question that you have. Thank you again. You do. This is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Make it a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.